This is Jim from TrekWorld. Today I want to talk to you about one of the books on the making of the first Star Trek movie that was not done through a major publishing house with a big author. As a reminder, if there are items in this video that you are interested in purchasing, there will be affiliate links that you can find in the description. Additionally, please consider supporting this channel. The easiest way to do so is to press the join button on any video. For a mere 99 cents a month, it will get you access to private community messages, prioritized response to comment, exclusive live streams, and access to videos that have not been released yet to the public. I think the publisher's summary is pretty apt. That this is the story of the time between Star Trek's cancellation in 1969 and the release of the Star Trek movie in 1979. And it points out that it's a Robert Wise film, it's Hollywood, it's Star Trek, so there's a lot of print over the years that's come out about it, not all of it factual. What this lady did was she went to the source. For those of you who've been around for a few years with me, you'll remember that I've always told you that if you're doing research, the best research in the world you can get is contemporary journalism. So this lady literally limited her research to media and print articles that were produced during that timeline. Tell what she believes is the first true success story of the revival of Star Trek. It talks about how the movie itself stumbled so many times before it even got out the gate. I mean, $44 million, $45 million, made it the most expensive movie ever made up to that point. And don't get us wrong, when it was released in December of 1979, it broke all sorts of box office records. But the morning after didn't fare so well. Now, I can tell you this is self-published. The cover's from Shutterstock, believe it or not. Sherilyn makes this available on Amazon. I do have a link down in the description. The reviews I read for it as I was looking for a copy of this that I could afford really liked her research. She's apparently very good at digging things up and presenting them in a researchable manner. Sort of sounds like what I try to do, okay? Her personal bias, though, comes out in the book. I don't really think that's a bad thing. You guys know my personal bias, and you wouldn't even really be listening to this now if you didn't already understand my personal bias. So I don't think that's necessarily a crime. But for some of the people who reviewed it in Amazon, they said it could be a distraction. So I'll let you decide how you want to embrace that. This is a collectible book. Because of its self-published nature, it's very difficult to get hold of in the used manner. It's not currently in the print-on-demand service that I could find on Amazon, so I had to wait until I could find a fairly inexpensive copy. But for the most part, this thing tends to go for about $50. So it gets into some things. Like, for instance, these are the guys that were involved in the production. Howard Livingston was the writer for Star Trek: The Motion Picture. He didn't end up being overtly happy with Roddenberry as a result of all of this. Now, one of the things that she actually does point out that's pretty interesting is that the story In Thy Image actually was based off of an unused idea for Genesis 2 called Robots Return. Not really a hidden piece of information. I think it's one of those things that you'll scratch your head and go, yeah, I guess that's right. Yeah, I haven't heard anything that could dispute that. That also explains how, even though Alan Dean Foster wrote I think a 17-page story outline for In Thy Image, it really was a Gene Roddenberry idea from Genesis 2. Now, Robert Goodwin actually was the liaison with Paramount, in particular to Terry Keegan, who was the senior vice president of creative content at Paramount Television. There's not a whole lot of photographs in here, but she footnotes pretty much everything that she uses. And there are a couple behind-the-scenes things showing construction at some point between 1977 and 1978 on the In Thy Image television premiere sets that were done. That one, I think, is a slightly different one than I've seen in some other books. But seeing as how she pulled these all from existing star logs and Star Trek newsletters and magazines and newspapers, obviously, it can't be unique to this book. Just to give you an example, just for the epilogue alone, she identifies the following sources: Variety, issue 301, Daily Variety, issue 191, Variety, issue 303, Broadcasting, issue 104, Starlog 72, Sunday Dispatch, UPI, Miami News, the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Beethoven, 1908, by J.M. Dent in England, Garfield Reeves Stevens, From the Next Generation, The Continuing Mission, comments directly from William Shatner, all that for the epilogue, okay? So she really gets into some things here. So go save it, search for it often until you can find it at a price that you're willing to compromise at. I haven't read it all the way through yet. I've only read bits and pieces, unfortunately, which is what I'm forced to do to keep these things on track for you. I suspect there's quite a bit of diamonds in the rough in here that doesn't regularly get spoken of. So maybe you and I will revisit this together in the future.